So hello everyone. Yeah, today we will learn about the current status and future trend of energy. So in this lecture, mainly I will discuss about what is the condition of the energy in this world right now, and what is the future trend, what is going to be happen like this in the future. And in the second part of this lecture, I will focus on the like what is the future of bioenergy, that is what is the future of green energy in this world. So in that part I will show my own research, okay, that is the bioelectricity generation from microbial fuel cell. So I think it will be interesting for all of you. So before going to the main lecture, so I just want to know your opinion. So what do you think by energy? So Pedro, what do you think? What is energy?
My opinion, I think energy is a source of life. So everything the world has to have the energy, even for the want to I mean the energy used for the electricity, energy used for the food factory, and then energy used for the for anyone. So I mainly energy is a source of life, I think.
Okay, so your answer is like energy is a source of life. Okay, okay. So you
think energy is something really important for our life, not only for human life, but the whole entire world. We need energy to survive, to circulate, and to live a life.
okay? Good. And what do you think?
Basically the same the opinion from others. Energy is the something that everything in this life needed to live.
Okay. So basically all of you have the same opinion, like energy is the kind of main source of life, right? So actually that you are, all of you are true. But if you want to make like some definition, like what is energy and something that can help us to do some work, okay? And all of we know work means something to move, okay, move from one place to another. So that what is needed, that is called energy. Okay, if you want to move this chair from that place to here, so you need to do some work, right? So that is the energy actually. And in this particular lecture, this energy is mainly we focus on like some electricity, electrical energy, and some like biofuel energy, so something like that. So those things are also help us to do some work, okay? So electricity help us to, like for example, rotate the motor and fan, moving the fan, okay? And we get some light or anything, whatever we are saying, by using electricity. And like that, the energy which we get for like moving the car, like something gasoline. So this is kind of all of these are things are the energy. Okay. So my second question is that what do you think? What is the main source of energy? Petro,
Solar.
do you agree?
Bio
I mean,
The main source of energy.
all the energy of this universe, what is the main source?
Living beings.
Living, non-living, for everyone's.
Can I add?
Yeah,
I think the sun.
yes,
The
very good.
sun.
The sun is the main source, or the solar is the main source of energy for all of us, living thing and whatever in this universe. Okay. What we see in the other form of energy, like gasoline or some other things, those are also somehow related to sun in the origin of that energy, because it comes from the green leaves or trees. Yeah. So green leaves make the photosynthesis and they get energy and they put it on the soil, and when they die by decomposing by bacteria, it becomes coal or oil, natural gas or something like that. So these are the way of getting energy, but main source is the same, the sun or the solar energy. Okay, so let's see what is the current state of the world or people's lifestyle. So this is a very famous photo of the world pyramid of economic. So this is called the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, and it shows that more than 60% of the world population live less than $2 per day. So what does it mean? Like more than half of this world population, they are living very in severe condition. Okay, and wherever they live, they have some common characteristics of their lifestyle. So I mean that wherever means like whether they live in Asia and whether they live in North America, whether they live in Europe, or whether they live in like Latin America, these 60% people have some common characteristics of their lifestyle. So if we just make like 10 of them, we can find like they don't have enough food to eat, they don't have good shelter to live, they don't have safe water to drink, and they don't have enough electricity or energy, and they don't have good medical facility, they don't have sanitation, they can't be taken high quality education. Number 8, they don't have good environment. Number 9, they don't have good transportation, that is bridges, roads, highways. And like number 10, they don't have solid waste management system. And most of the time, these 60% of the total population of this world, they are suffered by the natural disasters most. Okay, because they cannot afford safe place to live, good place to live, so they live in the some kind of like hazardous place or risky place. So this is the situation of this world, and if you see, if we want to change the lifestyle of these people, the 60% people of this world, then who will be the responsible persons? Like whose job is this? Like if we want to make good shelter or like low cost shelter for them, or like if we want to provide safe water or like energy or like sanitation system, okay, and to save society, save houses against the like natural disasters, the engineers, especially the civil engineers and environmental engineers, they have the most responsibility. So if we want to change the current state of this world, it is our responsibility, the civil engineers' responsibility, the civil and environmental engineers' responsibility, by providing their new ideas to change this world. Okay. So this is the main theme of this today's lecture. And from this background, we want to focus on number 4. They don't have enough electricity or electrical energy. So let's see. This is a very famous picture, and it is provided by NASA. It is called the world at night. Okay. So how our world looks like from the space at night. So you'll see many parts in the world is bright in the USA or in the North America or some parts of Asia. But if you see Africa or Latin America, some parts of Asia, still they are dark. Okay. So only in Africa, like around 70 to 75% people, they live without electricity still now. And many of the countries, they can generate only half of their demand. Okay, half or 60% of their demand. So like load shedding or power shortage is, or power outage is very common in many countries. And many economists, they said that this is one of the main reasons why these countries cannot level up their economic condition. Okay, because without electricity you cannot have industry. Without electricity you cannot make good like new generation who can study and change the situation. So energy is very much important. And probably all of you are familiar with the global warming and green energy. So people are thinking, okay, let's make some green energy to protect the earth from the global warming. But what they are doing, they are using like 40% of corn or 12% of soybean to make the biofuels, which will be used for like transportation fuel. Okay. But this corn, these soybean, these are actually food products. Okay. So you cannot destroy this food just to make some transportation fuel. In the background, that millions of people in this world, they are hungry every day. So if you want to make the transportation fuel by using the food products, it will never be sustainable. Okay. On the other hand, it can increase the food price in the world, and also it will make unstable the society in this world. Without food, people will be angry, something like that. So we have to think this also, like we need energy which is green energy, but we should not destroy the food. Okay, we have to find the new source. How can we get the energy? And so far people are thinking about like how can we get the green energy which is good for the environment, like good for the global warming or something like that. But after some nuclear power plant accidents in the world, now people are thinking we need both green and safe source of energy. Not only green, the safe source of energy. It means that energy which is both kind to the human being and also kind to the other animals or living things. So we have to find both green energy which is good for the earth environment. At the same time, we have to find a safe source of energy which is good for the people as well. And for that reason, people are making renewable energy. What is renewable energy? Renewable energy is defined as the energy that comes from resources which are naturally replenished. It means the source of this energy will never be finished. Okay, we can generate the energy from this source again and again. And this renewable energy is good for environment. Most of the time it is green energy. It means it will not produce any greenhouse gases, and it will help the environment to protect its state, protect against the global warming. And here are some examples of renewable energy. Number one is solar energy. Okay. Number two is wind energy. Number three, biomass energy. Number four, ocean energy. Number six, microbial fuel cell energy. Number seven, geothermal heat energy. Number eight, hydropower, etc. So these are the main sources of renewable energy, but still people are searching some other sources. A lot of researchers are doing in this field how to find some new source of energy. And where can we use this renewable energy? So this is very common question. We can get the renewable energy from natural sources, but where can we use it? The answer is you can use this renewable energy in the same way that you can use the other energies. Other means like non-renewable sources of energy, like gasoline or natural gas or coal or something. You get energy and use it. For example, right now we are using electricity, and this electricity is coming from, like, for example, coal power or nuclear power plant here. But we want to use this renewable energy in the same way what we are using now. Okay, for example, if we put some solar cells in the top of this building, and that may give some energy which we can be used here, something like that. So we can use the electricity generation, and also like hot water or space heating, and we can also use it like gasoline in motor fuels. And important thing is we can use like off-grid energy service. What does it mean, like rural or off-grid energy service? So normally the electricity, after generating some place, it is transferred from one place to another by using some transmission line or electricity line. Okay, but if it is in the remote area, some people live in the village area or remote area, the mountainous area, sometimes it is difficult to carry all the way that transmission line. Okay, so in that case, if we use the renewable energy, for example, solar panel, like one house, one solar panel, that renewable energy can provide enough energy for that house. So you do not need to carry all the transmission lines and buy like electrical pole and everything. So it means it will reduce the cost of, you can get the same service, but this is like off grid. You do not need any transmission line or pole or everything. So renewable energy has this benefit or advantages actually. When we are talking about the advantages of renewable energy, these two pictures, if you look at this is renewable energy, kind of like solar, biomass, water, geothermal, wind. Okay, and this is non-renewable energy, for example, like electricity getting from coal, oil, nuclear, natural gas, something like that. So do you know the meaning of non-renewable energy? that means, I said at the beginning, renewable energy is something which will never be finished. Okay. But for the non-renewable energy, like sources of oil, coal, gas, this will be finished one day. If we use it, will be finished within 100 years. It will be all finished. So this is the main difference: renewable energy or non-renewable energy or fossil fuel energy. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? So what are the good points related to renewable energy, and what are the good point of non-renewable energy? What are the bad point of renewable energy, and what are the bad points of non-renewable energy? So if you think the good point of renewable energy is it is green and safe source of energy. This is number one advantage. And number two, you can use it in off-grid. Okay, so relatively easy to set up in the remote area as well. Number three, can you add another thing? Good point.
Friendly.
Eco-friendly, very good, environment friendly. Any others? For example, it will never be finished. Okay, you can use it for a long time. It will never be finished. So by knowing this fact, we can understand that renewable energy is good for environment, good for our society. So it is green and safe. It will never be finished, and it can be used in the off-grid power system in the remote areas. And at the same time, what are the disadvantages of renewable energy? The right now, what the technology we have, the renewable energy is not enough to meet our demand. Okay, so this is the number one disadvantage of renewable energy. It means we know we have a lot of solar energy, we have a lot of water energy, but still we do not have the enough technology to catch that energy and use it by comparing to coal energy or natural oil or gas energy. So this is the main disadvantage of renewable energy right now. So the amount of energy is not enough. Okay. And then how about non-renewable energy? Sometimes we call it fossil fuel energy. So what are the advantage of that? Number one advantage is that we can generate the huge amount of it. Okay, it means like if you compare the cost to benefit ratio to get energy the same amount, still the right now current technology will permit us non-renewable energy will be the good choice if you want large amount of energy. And at the same time, what are the other advantages? Like you can, for example, if you have nuclear power plant, you can generate electricity like for a long time without any interruption. So it means like, okay, I forgot to mention one disadvantage of renewable energy is that like most of them are affected by the weather condition. Okay, for example, solar cell, if it is like today's cloudy day or rainy days, it will not work properly. Weather is one of the disadvantages for renewable energy. Okay, weather factors, weather effect. But But the non-renewable energy source like coal, oil, nuclear, natural gas, they are okay. They are not be affected with the weather factors like rain, cloud, or wind, and everything. So this is one of the main difference of advantage, disadvantage of renewable and non-renewable energy. And if I ask you, what is the most disadvantage of non-renewable energy? What will you say?
No,
Yeah, non-renewable energy. What is the bad point?
not for environment.
Yes, exactly. So non-renewable energy is not good for environment. Most of the time, they produce a lot of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, something like that. So in this world, global warming is becoming very serious day by day. For this global warming situation, the global warming or greenhouse gas emission, the carbon dioxide is mostly emitted by the sources of electricity generation or power plant. Okay, so power plant or the electricity generation plant, they emit the carbon dioxide maximum in this world. So it means that if you want to get energy from non-renewable source, it means you will burn the coal or you will burn the oil, and ultimately it will be harmful. It will be dangerous for the environment. So non-renewable energy has that bad condition or disadvantages. And another big disadvantages of non-renewable energy is it will be finished, used up. It will be finished one day. Okay, like within 30 years to somebody says like 50 years, coal will be finished or gas will be finished or oil will be finished from this world. Is it will take a lot of time to generate new sources of non-renewable energy in the naturally, okay, in the world. So it is impossible to get new sources. So it will be finished one day very soon. If you compare the age of the earth and everything, so this is very much like short period of time, like 100 years is nothing. Okay, within 100 years, almost all of the non-renewable sources will be finished. So we must find some renewable sources. So look at this renewable energy sources and consumption. This is the total energy consumption by source, and you will see the like fossil fuel is still very much high. Okay, and then renewable energy is this green, and nuclear energy is this one. So fossil fuel is the most of the world energy consumption sources right now. And fossil fuel is nothing but non-renewable energy. Okay, like coal, gas, oil, something like that. And if you see the renewable energy, okay, I think you cannot read that one. So what do you think? What is this magenta color? So what my question is, right now we are using different kinds of renewable energy. So which one is the maximum? Just say your opinion quickly.
Solar,
Okay,
solar panel.
Power.
hydropower. Okay, go on.
Solar.
Okay, so our image is like that. Okay, but no, if you see this red or magenta color, this is the biomass heat. biomass heat. Do you know what is the meaning of this? No idea?
I have no idea.
Okay. So it means that in the world where there is no electricity, people burn the wood to cook their food every day to get heat energy. Okay. This is the old energy consumption by source. Okay. So this wood energy, dry wood, they burn it and cook for their food all over the world. This is the maximum right now as a source of renewable energy. Biomass is a kind of renewable energy. As long as there is the sun, you can get the biomass. And after that, solar. Okay, then geothermal, hydropower, something like that. So these are the current renewable energy sources what we are using consumption by the people. Okay, so number one is biomass heat energy. Okay, and in the USA they use like petroleum, natural gas, coal, nuclear power plant power, and then renewable energy. And what you mentioned in the USA, renewable energy, within the renewable energy, hydropower is the maximum. Hydropower with the water power, they can generate electricity. And yeah, after that, biofuels or wind. But recently, they are also focusing on the solar. Solar energy. Okay. And let's see what is the condition of solar power. The solar power is the conversion of sunlight into electricity directly using photovoltaics. So right now, I think all of we are familiar with what is solar power. Something, there is a solar cell. When sunlight comes, there is some reaction happen here, and then we can get some energy or electricity directly. This is kind of direct source of energy, DC current. Okay, and then right now in the world, many countries are looking solar power is the number one of renewable sources of energy for their country. Like they are focusing to make the solar panel or like this solar panel built for the many places and get energy. Same as with the like current source of energy, like coal energy, or they don't want to use coal anymore because it is harmful for the environment. So they change to like this solar panel. It has a lot of advantages and disadvantages. So what is the advantage of it? Any idea? What is the advantage of solar power? I mean,
Of course, it is safe for the environment.
yes, it is renewable energy, so it is good for environment. No greenhouse gas emission to get electricity. Very good. This is the number one. And it has, as sun is the sources of energy, and sun is a huge thing. So the source of this renewable energy is very, very big. So it will never be finished. And then, if I ask you, what are the disadvantages of solar energy?
You can see in that picture that it requires a lot of land to build it.
Okay, very good. So for our technology, we are not efficient enough to make the solar panel like compact and we can get more electricity, not like that. So you are right, it needs a lot of area to set up. Sometimes agricultural land will be used. So there is a competition between the energy and food again. Okay. So this, you're right. Another one,
Limited energy.
sorry,
Limited energy.
limited energy.
Due
Yes.
to the
Compared to non-renewable energy, it is still limited, not so much. Okay, good. Can you share another one?
affected by weather.
Excellent. Yeah, this is the main disadvantage of solar. So during the cloudy day like this, or rainy days, no sun at all, or at night, you cannot get any energy. So the power generation system is not stable or not like smooth all the year, all the day. I mean, all the day and night. So this is one kind of disadvantage, big disadvantage of solar energy. But researchers are now doing many research how to make it more efficient. Like they want to make it more like environment friendly. Okay, because they use the solar panel and after that they store the energy in a battery like car battery or something like that. That battery is not good for environment. Okay. So after finishing using of that battery, you have to dispose that one. So that is another problem for environment. So this is another shortcomings or disadvantages. Then the next one is wind power. This is very popular. Okay, especially in the Europe, in the UK, they made a lot of wind turbine. So it means they use the energy of wind to rotate the generator and get the electricity. So if you can move or rotate the generator turbine, then you can get the electricity. That's simple. So it looks like this, and it can be used like electrical power, windmills, wind pumps, water pumping or drainage. Okay. So this is one historically very famous in the Netherlands. This country is very famous for the wind energy, wind utilization of wind energy. And this is kind of offshore wind energy, wind turbine. So it means they will not destroy the land area. They make it inside the sea, and in the sea, a lot of wind. No interruption or something, so they can get the wind area. But there is some big problem in offshore wind turbine. Can you guess what is that? We said that wind turbine inside the sea or ocean is very good because it will not hamper the land area. But after making it causes another problem. Any idea?
The living thing inside the living thing that inside the sea, yeah, because we can say that the installation of course under the water, so it may be cause for the living thing they don't.
Yeah. You are really near to that. Any other thoughts?
It's almost same, but maybe a different idea. It's caused to see the environment mostly because we store there. That's the pores we need to paint in order to protect corrosion because of the pore. And the painting itself has a lot of chemical toxin that can cause living things in the ocean.
Okay, very good. Amity, do you want to share something?
I think if the installation, I mean, if the one of wind turbines, let's say broken, then maybe it also will be waste for the environment. So
Yeah.
wind turbines that already broke, but
Okay. So all of you are correct somehow, but one of the big problems of wind turbine is that when the wind blows very fast, it moves such a quickly that you cannot see the propeller, this one. You cannot understand this one. So many birds, when they fly, they just kill. Okay, so many birds are killed in the offshore wind turbine. So it is not, not good, right? So now there are many researchers, they are doing research how to make it more efficient, more environment friendly. And you are right, to make the foundation of this type of big structure inside the sea, that is another big challenge. Okay, and that may cause some problem to the living things who live in the sea floor. And another thing is that always it has the like some vibration problem due to the wave. Okay, so whenever there is a wind, it means, and there is also wave, right? And it's a very long, this this pole is very high. So when the wave comes, so it becomes like this. Yeah, vibration, and that causes some kind of like liquefaction problem in the foundation. Like when there is vibration, like earthquake happened, so there is some liquefaction problem, right? The soil becomes liquidified, and if it happens, then it will be broken or topple. And if it is broken, it is a very serious problem then. So, and sometimes due to that vibration, it affects to the blade or propeller and it bend. And if it bend, then it will not you cannot get enough energy. I mean, it will not move correctly. Okay, so the main advantage or good point of this wind turbine or wind like power generation system is, again, as it is renewable source, so good for environment. Okay, green energy. So right now after solar, this is another popular, many countries are now using. But the bad thing is that again it is affected by the weather. If there is no wind, you cannot get any energy. So you have to find windy place to set up. We cannot everywhere. And have you ever seen any wind turbine very near? No? In Japan there are many, but if you go near, there is some noise problem. Noise when this move, it's a big, right? So kind of noise problem. So it is always far from the people's house. So these are some disadvantages. And let's see about the ocean energy. So what is that? Ocean energy has the potential of providing a sustainable amount of new renewable energy around the world. Because we know ocean is the like 1/3 of this earth is land and 2/3 is ocean or water. So if we can get energy from this huge source, then it will help us. this is one technology. It's called OTEC, Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion System. So what is that? There is always some temperature difference between the surface of the ocean and the deeper part of the ocean. The surface of the ocean is always high temperature because of the sunlight, but in the deeper area it is around 5 degrees or less than that. Okay. So these temperature difference, if it is more than 12 degrees, then by using that temperature difference, we can get electricity. It is called OTEC, Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion System. If you are interested, you can search it and read it. In Japan, they are very advanced in OTEC technology. Okay. Then, do you have any questions? Okay. Then biofuel. Okay. Biofuels are energy which are derived from the biomass, living plants and elements. So this is called biofuels. So now we will focus on this. So first, the first generation biofuel. So today in the first of these slides, we show that many food products are used to make biofuels, like corn or like soybean. Okay. So not only that, like beet, sunflower, like sugar cane, potatoes. Okay. Actually, these are all food, right? But they are making the fuel like bioethanol or biodiesel, and then mix with the some percentage with the gasoline, and then used for transportation fuel. So this is the first generation biofuel, but it will never be sustainable. Why? Because these are all food products. So many countries, they need food first, then car. So the first generation biofuels was not successful or sustainable. So people are thinking how to get biofuel from other sources. So they choose the second generation biofuels from waste material, okay, or like agricultural waste, straw and forest residues, or fast growth species, something like that. So they don't want to use any food product because food is the main like sources for living, right? So they try to get biofuel from the agricultural waste or forest residues, forest waste, or some like fastest growing plants or something as a source of bioethanol. But again, the waste is not enough, right? The world waste is limited, so you cannot get enough waste to make such a big amount of biofuel. So second generation biofuel was also not sustainable or not success. So now people are trying to get the third generation biofuel. So what is that? This is the algae. Algae means very small plankton which grow in the water. It can grow both seawater, it can grow both pond water. So people are making the algae renewable sources. Then from there extraction of oil, and then use it as renewable source of biofuels. So right now, the third generation biofuels are getting attraction. So first generation was not popular due to the sustainable by food. Second generation was initially good, but there was problem because there is not enough waste materials. So people are now thinking about third generation because algae can grow very fast. Okay. And they can grow any water, both seawater or river water or something like that.
But it also not enough, I think, because algae also cause to environment problem. If we create or we plant the algae in the, I think, in one ocean, or it also goes through the environment itself, because it's can cover all and can consume all the CO2 in the water itself, and the fish and the sharks cannot live. So it's also a big problem if we algae.
Yes, you're right. So like any other renewable energy, they have both advantages and disadvantages. And algae or third generation biofuel, you're right. If you do not control the growth of this, it can grow very fast, and within 2 or 3 days you will find a lot of like sea becomes like red tide, red color plankton, red tide. And if it happens when they die, the algae die, the bacteria try to eat that algae from the water, and when the bacteria eat, they use the oxygen inside the water, and when the oxygen of the water is used by the bacteria, then other water or aquatic animals like fish, shells, they cannot get enough oxygen. They will die. So what mentioned by Elias. So it is true. So we must have some control, some sort of control of the growth of algae. Otherwise, it can cause another problem, environmental problem. So we have another like 40 minutes or so. So we will focus on microbial fuel cell. Okay. This is my own research. Okay. So I am conducting this research around more than 10 years now. Okay. So yeah, many people in the world are focusing this technology. It is very, very new. As I mentioned, maybe around 10 to 12 years back, it started in the world. So what is this technology? What is microbial fuel cell? Microbial fuel cells are bioelectrochemical devices which convert biomass into electricity through the metabolic activity of the microorganisms. So what is microbial fuel cell? So the main thing is that we can get electricity from this cell and from the biomass. Biomass means, like I said before, some organics which can be eaten by the bacteria, like organic waste, organic substances, organic like leaves, woods, anything which can be eaten by the bacteria. And when they eat, like other fuel cells, they must have one anode and one cathode. You know, anode and cathode, like any battery, they need two portal to transfer the electron. It means whenever you want to get electricity, okay, the electron moves through the anode to cathode, and in between, if you want, you can get the electricity. Electricity is nothing but the flow of electrons. Okay. So what happens? I have written it is glucose, but like any organic substance, if you put or in the nature, the microbes will eat or break down that one. This is natural process. Yeah. At the time, electron releases. Electron will release. And this electron will be caught up by the anode and it moves to cathode. And in the between, you can get the electricity. So this is the main mechanism of microbial fuel cell. So I said again, microbial fuel cell is a device by which you can get the electricity. And the main sources of that electricity is the biomass
So,
or organics.
so anode and cathode is sort of device.
Anode and cathode are made of mainly metal or non-metal things, something. But in our research, we only use made of like carbon materials, like carbon fiber or bamboo charcoal, something like that. So we discuss more. So why it is important is that by observing the characteristics of the residential waste in this world, we can see that this is like developing countries, more than 80% of the waste is kind of organic waste. And for the case of industrialized parts of the world, it is also almost half portion is organic or can be degraded by the bacteria. Okay. But unfortunately, this large portion of this waste is not recycled. Okay. Mostly they are dumped in the landfill, or like in Japan, they just collect separately and burnt in the incineration plant. But these organic waste, they have a lot of water inside. So if you want to burn this, some watery things, it means you need a lot of energy. Okay, the calorific value of this organic waste is not so much. That is a big problem. So our main objective was, can we use that organic waste to make electricity by using the microbial fuel cell? So that was the main thoughts or main background 10 years back when I just first started this research. To get electricity from the organic waste by using microbial fuel cell technology. So to develop a microbial fuel cell by using the kitchen garbage for bioelectricity generation, and to convert or recycle the kitchen garbage for soil conditioner by hybrid composting method as a byproduct of bioelectricity. So our thoughts are to get the electricity first from the organic waste, and as the byproduct of that electricity, we want to use the rest of the things as compost. Compost means like organic fertilizer in the agricultural field. So our objective was two different objectives. So this is kind of our design for how we made it. We put it anode here, cathode here, connected with external circuit, and these are the organic waste here we got this organic waste like kitchen garbage from our cafeteria, and then yeah, save this one, and we collect the electricity from here. And again, we can design our cell something like this, 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter. This is a biomass from kitchen garbage, and then anode and cathode connected with external circuit. And we can get electricity from here. These are the materials what we used, like leaf mold, kitchen garbage, water, and some. We use some, we call it EM, effective microorganisms, which are normally used in Japan to do some composting well. Okay, there are some kind of mix of different types of bacteria here. So if you mix with organic waste, it will not much bad smell. Okay, to protect the bad smell, they use this one. So we also use this one because our experiments were inside the laboratory, so other people also use. So you can understand, if we only use kitchen garbage, it will be bad smell, right? And these were the methods of how we did it. Very simple. We mix it properly, then place it in our cell, and then connected with the data logger. And these are one kind of, these are cathode material. Okay, this is carbon nanofibers. Nanofibers look like our hair, okay, but made of carbon, very strong. Tensile strength is very high. Now this material is used to make the body of the airplane, yeah, very strong because it is light and it's strong. So carbon fiber is very, nanofiber is very important now. And yeah, these are the data logger where we connected and we collected the data, and we can use it to check later on for making graph. So in the first, we found that the electricity, this is voltage or electricity generation, and this is the like duration. So initially the voltage was very high, so it goes like this. This is volt, so it means like these are like 400 millivolt here, and after 21 days, 3 weeks, we got the peak voltage around 600 millivolt, and then gradually it reduced. So these are the first experiment we got it, and we understood that okay, electricity can be generated by this method by using the organic waste. So we are the first in the world to try this one. Before that, this microbial fuel cell technology was used mainly for the wastewater treatment, not the waste. Okay, it started for wastewater treatment, like how to get energy from the wastewater. Okay, at the same time it will be clean, something like that. And then we checked how much power is generated, power density, because when you want to use this electricity, people will ask you how much power is generated. And then one of the main objectives was to whether we can use this like byproducts of electricity as the soil conditioner or the organic fertilizer. Okay, so after getting the electricity, the rest of the things we checked. Okay, these are the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. In short, it is called NPK. So these are the main nutrients for the plants they require. So all the fertilizers, they have this one. nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, because these are the food for the plants. So we checked this one and we found that all of the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium within the range of a typical compost. It means if you buy a compost from the shop and use it in the agricultural field, the properties of that compost and our compost is the same. Yeah. So from that, we are very happy that we can get both energy, electrical energy or electricity from this waste, and at the same time we can use it as the soil conditioner. So these are the like some parameters which are very much yeah, we must check it for any cell. Then we tried with different waste, like we tried with fruit waste, persimmon fruit waste, and we found that, well, it can generate electricity. Then we tried with cow dung or chicken droppings, leaf mold. We found that it can generate electricity. Then we tried with some rice waste, and that is the first time we could light up the LED light with rice waste. Then we tried to make different waste and some other soils, natural soil. Then we make it organic soil connected in series. We found that almost 6 volt, 6,000 millivolt means 6 volt, okay? But 10 small cells connected with series, we can make it. We can get electricity, okay? Around 6 volt. Only 2 volt is enough to like USB charger or something like that. And if you have 6 volt, you can, and you have enough power, you can charge your iPhone or something like that. So that is the conclusion of the first part, like microbial fuel cell by using the organic waste like kitchen garbage, food waste, feedstock waste, provide good way of bioelectricity generation. This is sustainable, renewable, and green energy. And the byproduct of the electricity generation by microbial fuel cell can be used as soil conditioner. So that was the main conclusion in the first study. And in that study, we mainly focused 3 major problems like environmental and health problems in urban areas due to unmanaged of waste. So if we can get electricity from organic waste, then people will not throw it. Okay, they will make their own energy by this, and ultimately their waste will be managed. And many countries, there is a problem of organic matter depletion in the soil. Okay, so due to the population increasing, people use a lot of food products, grow food products in the same soil. So ultimately the soil have less organic matter. And this is the one of the reason why it become desert. Okay, so it is very serious problem. In our system, we can use our byproducts and give it to the soil again, the organic and soil conditioner fertilizer. But the most important thing is this. We can get some energy, bioelectricity from the waste material. So addressing the 3 major problems in this world. And after that, I quickly recap this one. By modify the microbial fuel cell, we use some plant, living plant, okay? So the mechanism is that, you see again, when the sunlight comes to the green leaves, with the photosynthesis, they produce carbohydrate, okay? And the 60% of the carbohydrate they discharge in the root area. This is natural. And the bacteria who lives in the soil, they eat or break that. Okay. And during breaking that one, they release 24 number of electrons. And we try to catch that electron by this anode and cathode, the same thing. This is anode, this is cathode. This light can be lighter. So by using the help of sunlight, the green leaves can produce the carbohydrate and naturally discharge in the root area. The bacteria eat that carbohydrate and produce the electron, and we catch that electron. And this is very important because this is clean, no combustion of gas or no air pollution. It is sustainable because no plant harvesting. It's efficient because in situ electricity and low cost. And of course, it is renewable because only the solar energy is using here. So it is called plant microbial fuel cell. In short, it is called PMFC. So what we did, this is natural trees, and we just put anode and cathode to get the energy. It will not hamper the growth of the plants or some other things. We can easily generate bioelectricity from the different plants. So at first we tried with the rice plant. Okay. Why rice? Because many countries in this world, they produce rice, and many countries, those countries, they do not have energy. So our first target, can we get energy and the food at the same time? So we choose this one. So what we did, we make some rice microbial fuel cell, one with rice and another without rice. And this is the starting of the experiment. This is the end of the experiment. Okay. You can see a lot of rice there. Okay. And we use the carbon fiber as electric materials like anode and cathode, something like this. And this is the result of that. So when there is the, with rice, the electricity or voltage generation is like this. And when there is no rice, the electricity generation is like half or less than half of that. So this proves that plant microbial fuel cell works. So if there is plant, you can generate more electricity. And after understanding this, we try to improve our technology. So what we did, we use the soil compost, soil plus compost. That compost, what we got from the organic waste microbial fuel cell, 1%, 3%, and what we found, when we use compost, the number of leaves and growth becomes very high. It means the plants get enough food to grow. Okay, and if they get enough food, they will grow fast compared to others. And then we got the rice, and we checked the voltage generation and found that in one bucket, the around 700 millivolt we got the peak voltage, something like this. And when the bucket 3 and bucket 4, when the compost is used, this is the maximum amount of energy. And we also check whether this happened, hampered the growth of the plant or not. We found that after using the compost, the plant length also increased compared to without compost. So if we use compost, then it can both growth of the plant, and also we can get more energy. And we check this is called polarization curve. For any cell or any battery, you must check the relation between the cell voltage and current density and power density. And its shape is like this always. If it's not like this, it is not good battery or good cell. So we check it and we found that our cell is good one. Then we check why so much electricity got. So we put it in the root inside under the microscope and found that these are the carbon fiber and these are the root. So the interaction between the root and the carbon fiber electron method is so good that easy to transfer the electron. And finally, we propose this mechanism. So at first, from food waste, we will make the microbial fuel cell and get electricity to the house, and the compost goes to the field. Next year, plant microbial fuel cell as the food, and then from here again we can get electricity, and after that we get the rice, for example, we eat, and food waste will go to the. So this will be on cycle for whole the year. We can get whole the year. Yeah, actually, these are the things what I wanted to show with you. So in this research, we mainly focused 5 major problems of the world. As I mentioned before, like same environmental and health problem due to the unmanaged of waste, the organic matter depletion in the soil, and world food crisis, and of course global warming problem. And our first and ultimate goal is to provide the electricity to all of the people in the world. So we are focusing that point. So that's all from today from my side. So now if you have any questions or comments, you can ask me.
It's a good. First time for me to see this brochure.